I first met my wife. It was back in 1997. She came into my office and she was working at a computer desk, and I remember seeing her, I'm like, wow, this girl's pretty. I didn't know what to do, but I wanted to talk to her. So I asked her, I had an orange. I'm like, you want to bite of my orange? Of course she said no, and what the heck are you doing? But that started into a conversation, and after a while it was, hey, where are you from? Do you know this person? And she grew up near where I grew up, and I don't know, I guess that kind of set the ball in motion, and a few weeks later we started going out, and we go to visit our family in Lake Michigan, have a house, and it's overlooks the water. It's a beautiful place, and there's this little swing on a porch, and that's kind of where we professed our love to each other. And a year later, I took her back to that spot, and I proposed to her. For a few months, it was really good, and we even did some counseling together just to make sure we're doing the right thing. And we were probably in 3 or 4 sessions before, like, the counselor kind of brought out on us, like, are you sure you're doing this for the right reason? And we thought we were, and I think we started to realize that maybe we weren't ready, and we decided to end it at that time. Well, as that was all happening, I remember I started having vision problems. It turned out that I had a brain tumor on my pituitary gland, about the size of a walnut. It was, I don't know, at first I was in denial, and then I got kind of, I guess, nauseous, started hyperventilating a little bit. I had to do some praying. It was like, God, okay, I've kind of steered away from you. You have my attention now. Whatever you can do to get me through this, I just want your strength. I'm giving it to you. But after I got through that, I immediately went to call Teresa. I felt like I needed to call her. And I knew she would come, and she never left my side. It's an 8-hour surgery. They cut me from ear to ear. So if you can see, there's a scar that goes all the way across. Pulled my face down, took a chunk out of the forehead, like the skull, and then kind of went back and through. 4 months after that, Teresa and I were still together, and she took me out to this park, and we were walking around, and all of a sudden she sits down on this bench with me, and she gets on one knee, and I'm like, okay, now what's going on here? And she proposed to me. A year later, we were married. Everything was going well. "16 months, 14 pounds, cleft lip, unrepaired, and had a cleft palate, and she was our daughter, and we loved her unconditionally. It was just love at first sight. Her name is Maliana Sway-Rong Wilkinson. We call her Molly for short. We learned that Maliana meant in some language like wished for child. I see my daughter, I see her growing, I see who she is now, and I see God working through her, and I just feel grateful, I think, more than anything. I mean, I look back at that day, and I really feel that it was a blessing for so many reasons, not just because of Teresa and I being back together and having Molly. Those are the 2 big ones, but being closer to God and seeing how He works through people. I'd do it again today if He wanted me to. I'd go through the whole procedure again. I look back from the time when I had the brain tumor and the time now, it's like, you don't always know what God's gonna give you, what He's gonna put on your plate, and sometimes it can be really rough stuff. And I felt like I put that back to Him and said, whatever your will is, that's fine. As hard as everything was, the process, the ups and downs, the challenges, I still feel to this day that God blessed me with a brain tumor.